In moments of fear, we often fall short of our best. This happens even to Peter, our church's chief apostle and pastor. When terrified, he denied Jesus 3 times. After the resurrection, Peter returned to his former job as a fisherman, and Jesus appeared to him by the lakeside and 3 times asked the incisive question, "Do you love me?" Peter was no longer the brash, impulsive man of former days, for after betraying Jesus, he tasted a flood of humility and remorse. He had returned to the work he knew best, sobered by failure, and now ready to get on with his life with new self-awareness. After tasting his own need for mercy, he had learned compassion for others and became the kind of man to effectively lead Christ's church. Not once, not twice, but 3 times Jesus asks him, "Do you love me?" Only when Peter answers with humble love and total surrender, "Lord, you know everything," does Jesus commission him to feed my sheep. Moving out from Jerusalem into a wider field of mission, Peter brought the gospel message first to Joppa and then to Antioch and later to Rome itself. Love, contrition, and obedience to the Lord's prompting became the hallmarks of his ministry. As such, he is the rock of the church and patron of all apostolic people. Even though Peter speaks with authority, there is a quality of patience with him, clearly reflected in his epistle when he writes, "I, who am an elder myself, appeal to the church elders among you," as we read in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 1. He is able to love and be loved, humble and open to others in their ideas and talents, aware of sin, and able to appreciate the weakness of others, ready to obey Jesus at all costs. This is the authentic Petrine ministry our church reveres and prays for. Jesus singled out Peter from all the apostles and particularly sent him to feed my sheep. He was to be the iconic pastor of the church. The risen Lord gives all of us the same opportunities and gives it over and over again. The question, "Do you love me?" is asked by the one who has loved us with a divine love. It is not an accusing question. It is an inviting question calling us back into communion if, for whatever reason, we have fallen out of contact with Him. The Eucharist is our Holy Communion, a moment when the question is addressed to us in a special way. It is a privileged opportunity for us to respond to the question as Peter does in today's Gospel, and to renew our communion with the Lord if we have broken it. That, like Peter, we may always learn to come back to Jesus. Let's pray for this grace for one another.